last, take a seat. It's time to soar. Where rivers of success meet, let's unlock the door. Blueprints laid down, we're creating something grand. In Eden they started, now it's our turn to stand. Four rivers flow, a vision crystal clear. With faith in our hearts, we've got no fear. Success streams flowing, lifting us high. With the master's guidance, we're touching the sky. Building our dreams with a powerful team. In this business life, we're living the dream. Rejecting that slow grind. 40 years wasted, leave that behind. Unless the Lord builds, it's all in vain. Divine designs, we're breaking the chains. Biblical blueprints, success is blessed. Let's rise up together, we'll never rest. Success streams flowing, lifting us high. With the master's guidance, we're touching the sky. Building our dreams with a powerful team. In this business life, we're living the dream. So here's to the journey, we're set to take flight. With faith as our armor, we're ready to fight. Welcome to the masterclass. Take a seat, it's time to soar. Where rivers of success meet, let's unlock the door. Blueprints laid down, we're creating something grand. In Eden they started, now it's our turn to stand. Four rivers flow, a vision crystal clear. With faith in our hearts, we've got no fear. Success streams flowing, lifting us high. With the master's guidance.
Hey Kingdom family, greetings, blessings, salutations, and welcome to another Kingdom Conversation with me, your host, Bishop Wayne Malcolm, the business bishop. And you know, I'm always excited and delighted to be a part of your life and legacy. I want to shout out to everyone who has subscribed to the channel. Encourage those who are yet to subscribe to go ahead and subscribe. Some of the people who are yet to subscribe think they have subscribed, so just go ahead and check right now. Have you subscribed? If not, do subscribe to the channel. Thank you to everyone who's left a comment, those who have hit the like button and liked the post, and those of you, of course, who share our channel with your family, friends, neighbors, and networks. It means the world to us. By simply subscribing, liking, commenting, and sharing, you are helping, you're partnering with us, and you are helping to make this channel more findable by people like you who are looking for content like this. So thank you so very much. We're going to dive in to part 2 in our series on the rise of a Joshua generation. The rise of a Joshua generation. Now, if you missed part 1, you really want to go back. It'll just be one episode back, and you want to listen to part 1 of the rise of a Joshua generation, in which I give a lot of context to the concept. Needless to say, I believe that God is birthing a new breed in the earth, and that we are seeing the rise of a Joshua generation. We are seeing the rise of kingdom citizens, sons, sovereigns, and stewards who have set their sights on promised land, and they are seizing cities and taking territories for God's glory. And if you sense that you are part of the rising Joshua generation, you might want to indicate that in the chat box right now, because I'm going to take us in to give some real definition and clarity to what it means to be part of the Joshua generation. So here's the outline. I'm going to talk about the book of Joshua as a transitional book. I'm going to talk about Joshua himself as a transitional leader. And we're going to talk about Israel's journey from childhood to sonship. And then I'm going to talk about the process of maturation, which involves withdrawing support in order to encourage growth. We talk about the difference between God's presence and his performance, and then we're going to summarize everything at the end. Now, I'm not going to keep you too long. I think of this as a half hour of pure power. We've decided to kind of shorten the length of the broadcast, and so it's going to be just hit. And of course, there are so many people who, to sit for an hour has been a challenge for them. So we're going to do these in bite-sized chunks of about 30 minutes each. Might be a little longer, might be a little shorter. But if you're one of those that loves the full hour, then you can just put them together and we'll make it happen. All right, so let's talk about the book of Joshua as a transitional book. So the book of Joshua is a transitional book about a transitional leader leading transitional people through transitional times. It is a manual or a handbook on transition. So anyone that's in transition, moving from one stage to another, moving from one level to another, would do well to study the book of Joshua because it is packed with principles and loaded with lessons for people who are in transition. Now, the very positioning of the book in the canon of Scripture speaks to its transitional nature. Joshua sits between 5 books that make promises to the seed of Abraham, to the descendants of Abraham, to the house of Jacob, the house of Israel. 5 books, the Pentateuch, the Torah, Genesis to Deuteronomy, in which land, seed, and blessing are promised to the descendants of Abraham. Joshua sits between those 5 books and other historical books that document Israel's occupation of that land, Israel's possession of that promise. So Joshua sits between the promise and its possession. Joshua sits between a people who are dreaming it and a people who are doing it. Joshua sits between the people who are naming it and the people who are claiming it. So Joshua is the bridge. He is the bridge between believing it and beholding it. He's the bridge between dreaming it and doing it. He's the bridge between walking it and talking it. He's the bridge between the fantasy and the fact. And in this respect, his book represents a strategy, a system, a secret, a formula for crossing over from dreaming it to doing. Is there anyone here under the hearing of my voice that want to cross over from dreaming about something to actually doing it? Shout your amen in the comment section. Is there anyone here under the hearing of my voice that wants to make the transition from talking it to walking it? Is there anyone here under the hearing of my voice that want to make the transition from the promises and prophecies to the possession and the prize? Then Joshua is your book. Joshua is your book. Joshua stands between Genesis to Deuteronomy, the Pentateuch, the Torah, and the conquest narratives, the prize, the promise and the prize. And the book encodes principles for moving from vision to reality, from naming to claiming, from fantasy to fact. And it shows the difference between talking about your destiny and taking possession of it. In the first 5 books, Israel is dreaming, waiting, prophesying about a promise. But in the remaining books after Joshua, Israel is doing it, walking it, and occupying. And in this respect, the book of Joshua is a transitional book. Now, Joshua himself is a transitional leader. He is a transitional leader, presented with new challenges and requiring a new level of faith. So God says to Joshua, chapter 1, verse 5, "As I was with Moses, so I will be with you. I will not fail you nor forsake you." As I was with Moses, so I will be. Now listen, I'll be honest with you. If I were Joshua and God said to me, "As I was with Moses, so I will be with you," then I would expect that everything God did for Moses, that God would do for me. Whether that's using the rod to part the Red Sea or to consume the snakes of Pharaoh's magicians, whether that be bread from the sky, water from the rock, whether it be a pillar of cloud by day, a pillar of fire by night, whether it be the fact that the children of Israel's clothes grew with their stature under Moses and their shoes grew with their feet, whether it be the fact that when Moses experienced rebellion in the camp, the ground opened up and swallowed the rebels. If God said to me, "As I was with Moses, so I'll be with you," I would expect that God would do for me all the things he did for Moses. But what is clear from the book of Joshua is that God is clearly with Joshua, but he's not doing for Joshua what he did for Moses. And that's what we're going to kind of conclude with today, is the difference between God's presence and God's performance. God said, "I'll be with you like I was with Moses." He didn't say, "I'm going to do for you what I did for Moses." There is a difference. Now, the fact is that there was a shift of leadership and a shift of loyalties. Joshua inherited leadership after Moses' death. And, I like the way the Bible describes this. It wasn't a vote, right? There wasn't a vote for Joshua to be the new leader. Joshua was Moses' minister. He spent more time with Moses than anyone else. But when Moses died, the Bible says that God hid his body. So no one had real evidence that Moses was dead. God said to Joshua, "Moses, my servant, is dead. Now arise and lead the people over Jordan into the promised land." So there's a personal word and conviction that Joshua had from God that thrust him into the position of leadership. But this would have been challenging for the people because Joshua's leadership was very different to Moses' leadership. And God's presence with Joshua was very different to his presence with Moses. And the miracles that God did for Joshua were very different to the miracles that God did for Moses. And the focus of Joshua was very different to the focus of Moses. And so what we see fundamentally is that Moses is a mystic leader. He's a mystic leader. He's a mystic leader that relies heavily on miracles to vindicate, to validate, to affirm him. Miracles. I mean, it was from the beginning. It was the plagues on Egypt. It was the Passover. The death of the firstborn. It was the parting of the Red Sea. It was the fire on Mount Sinai. It was the tablets of the law written with the finger of God. It was the pillar of cloud by day and pillar of fire by night. It was the manna falling from heaven. It was mystical and miraculous. The mountain meetings, the miracles, the manna. But Joshua is a military leader. Oh, help me now. Joshua is a military leader, and he's focused on strategy. He's focused on stewardship. He's focused on structure. He's focused on possessing promises. He's focused on taking territory. He's focused on seizing cities. He's focused on taking back, right, all the things that were in the possession of the pagans. So he's looking at what the pagans have, He's looking at the pagan houses. He's looking at the pagan vineyards. He's looking at the pagan wells. He's looking at the pagan fruits. He's looking at the territory that's occupied by pagans. And he's saying, that's our promised land. That's our focus. That's what we're going to go in and possess. And I'm telling you, that could not have been easy for the children of Israel. It couldn't have been easy for the children of Israel. In fact, no doubt, the children of Israel would have thought, Joshua is a very carnal, materialistic type leader. He's a very carnal, materialistic man. Like, we haven't seen him spending 40 days in the mountain talking face to face with God. He doesn't come back with tablets of stone written with the finger of God. He doesn't sit there explaining the word of God to us and judging us by the laws and the statutes that God has given to us. He's not really that into God. This would have been the criticism of Joshua, and guess what? This is going to be the criticism of the Joshua generation. You're too materialistic. You're too earthly minded. You're so earthly minded, you have no heavenly good. You're setting your sights on pagan possessions. It's like you want to have what the pagans have. It's like you're looking out at the secular world and saying, well, that should be ours. God promised that to us. You're out here trying to make the world a better place, trying to have your heaven on earth instead of there and then, you wanting it here and now. And these are the criticisms that are leveled at the Joshua generation, but I just want you to know they are the exact same criticisms that would have been leveled at Joshua. And I'll tell you why. Because the moment that Joshua took the helm and became the leader, the pillar of cloud by day disappeared, and the pillar of fire by night disappeared. The manna stopped falling from heaven, and there was no water out of the rock. The children of Israel's clothes got tight, and their shoes got tight, because it was no longer growing with their stature or with their feet. And when Joshua experienced rebellion in the camp, the ground didn't open up and swallow the rebels. No, Joshua, by process of elimination, had to extract a confession. And when he did extract a confession from Achan, he basically had to execute justice or judgment upon him. Joshua was so different. And no doubt there were people having little prayer meetings in their tents, talking about the good old days, the miracle days, the power, the fire, the glory days of Moses. And no doubt some of them were praying, God, take us back to the old time religion. Take us back to how things used to be. But see, Joshua was anointed and appointed to take the territory that had been promised to Abraham. That was his assignment. That was his priority. And God promised him, I'm going to be with you exactly in the same way I was with Moses. Exactly as I was with Moses, that's how I'm going to be with you. Which didn't mean I'm going to do for you what I did for Moses. Now, why was God not going to do for Joshua what he did for Moses? I'll tell you why. Because the Israel that came out of Egypt was a baby, a child, an infant. Moses was a midwife, caring for a baby nation, a baby state. See, no one is born a full-grown man, and no nation is born a full-grown nation. Israel as a nation was born at the Red Sea. The parting of the Red Sea was metaphorically indicative of the breaking of waters and the birth of a baby. The baby was a baby state, a baby nation. And babies need to be carried, and babies need to be fed, and babies need to be cared for, and babies need to be comforted. And so God did all that for Israel under Moses. God carried Israel. He literally says, I carried you on eagle's wings. Right? Listen to me. You're never going to see a full-grown eagle carrying a full-grown eagle on its wings. The full-grown eagle carries baby eaglets, babies. God said, I carried you on eagle's wings. God fed Israel in the wilderness. God comforted Israel in the wilderness. God protected Israel. God did for Israel everything that a mother does for a baby, because Israel was a baby. The problem is that you cannot put government on the back of a baby. I wish I had some help in here. You can't put government on the back of a baby. You can only put the government on the shoulders of sons, right? So Isaiah 9 verse 6 says, unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government shall be on his shoulders. So what this means is that there is a difference between childhood and sonship. Israel under Moses was immature, was childlike and childish, and you cannot put government on the back of a baby. You can only place governmental responsibility on the shoulders of sons, because in the Hebrew culture, a child became a son through a rite of passage called bar mitzvah. And in the bar mitzvah, the child officially exits childhood and childishness and becomes a son of the commandments, meaning they are now responsible. Sonship had to do with responsibility. In fact, you couldn't become a son in the culture until you were old enough to manage your father's estate, to manage your father's business. And so the New Testament speaks about this in some detail and says in Galatians 4 that the heir, that's the legal successor, so long as he is a child, will be treated no different to a servant. He will be under tutors and governors until the time appointed by the Father. You can check this out in Galatians 4. That basically you may be the legal owner of something, but you are not allowed to manage it, enjoy it, operate it until you're old enough to manage it, enjoy it, operate it. You have to grow up out of childhood and into sonship. So the reality was for the house of Israel is that under Moses, they were children. They had to grow up. They had to grow up in order to shoulder the government of a new country. And so under Moses, Israel behaved like infants needing constant miracles. Under Joshua, they matured into sons, taking responsibility for victory. True leadership cannot rest on spiritual infancy, but maturity carries the mission. So if you look at a baby, babies are carried, fed, comforted. Adults are trained, trusted, and tasked. See, God says, look, right now I'm carrying you, I'm feeding you, I'm comforting you, but I need you in a place where you can be trained, trusted, and tasked if you're going to possess the promised land. If you're going to possess the promises, if you're going to take the territory, if you're going to see cities, you need to grow up. You need to go to the next level of spiritual maturation and grow from childhood to sonship. Because as a child, you're irresponsible. As a son, you are completely responsible. And so that's why we see God withdrawing under Joshua things that he made freely available under Moses. God says, look, you are the Joshua generation, I'm not feeding you. You are the Joshua generation, I'm not carrying you. You are the Joshua generation, I'm not comforting you, but by my word. You are the Joshua generation. I'm not fighting your battles for you, because under Moses, I did things for you. Under Joshua, I'm doing things through you. I wish I had some help in here. So you have to make the transition from God doing things for you to God doing things through you. All right? God doing things with you, God doing things by you, God doing things as you. This is really the transition and the maturation of the believer. And this is why the pillar of cloud by day and the pillar of fire by night disappeared. This is why the bread stopped falling. Because whereas the Moses generation looked up for food, the Joshua generation would have to look down for food. What do you mean look down? I mean, you have to break up the fallow ground, you have to sow seed and give it time and reap harvest. That's what you're going to have to do to feed yourself now in the promised land. In the promised land, you're going to have to dig wells or possess wells that have already been dug. You are going to be responsible. And this was the journey. This was the journey. And here's what the journey means fundamentally. The journey means fundamentally that you cannot go into the promised land. You have to grow into the promised land. I wish I had some help in here. A lot of people are trying to go there, but you can't go there. You have to grow there. A lot of people are even waiting for the promised land to come to them. It's not coming to them. You have to go to it. In order to go to it, you have to grow to it. I wish I had some help in here. You have to grow into your promises. You can't just go into your promises. You have to become the person who can survive your own success. You have to become the person who can handle and steward your own success. You have to become the person who will not be corrupted by your own success. And that requires growth. So the manna ceased on the morrow after they had eaten of the old corn of the land. The purpose of the withdrawal. When the manna stopped, it was not punishment, it was promotion. There are some things that God will stop doing in your life, stop doing for you. It's not punishment, it is promotion. It is God's vote of confidence in you. It's God saying to you that you can now do this for yourself. And parents take serious pleasure in watching their children do for themselves things that parents used to do for them. See, your parents used to feed you, right? Your mother used to put the milk in your mouth. And then your mother would break up food to make it soft enough for you to be able to swallow and digest. And your mother would cook for you and do everything for you. But her great delight and your father's great delight is in the day that you feed yourself, that you know, because mother used to put the food in your mouth. The day's going to come, she's going to put the food on the table with a spoon. All right? And then another day is going to come when she's not going to put the food on the table. You're going to say, Mama, where's the food? Mama's going to say the food is in the cupboard and you need to cook it. And while you're at it, cook some for me. And then the day's going to come when you're going to say, Mama, there's no food in the cupboard. And Mama's going to say, yeah, because it's in the shop. And you need to go to the shop and you need to buy the food and put the food in the cupboard. And you need to take your money from your job and buy the food and put it in the cupboard. And then when you put it in the cupboard, then you need to cook something so we can all eat. Why is Mama withdrawing? That's not punishment, that's promotion. That's a vote of confidence in you. That's because you are at an age and a stage where you can begin to do things for yourself. Each stage increases responsibility and initiative. There comes a time in a person's life where help becomes a hindrance. God does not want his help to become your hindrance. God does not want his help to become your hindrance. So this is the difference between his presence and his performance. It's a principle, presence versus performance. God said to Joshua, "As I was with Moses, so I will be with you." But don't confuse God's presence with God's performance. God didn't say, "I will do for you what I did for Moses." He said, "I will be with you like I was with Moses." God is with you. Okay, and Jesus said it this way: "Lo, I am with you always, even to the end of the age, to the end of the world." God is not promising identical miracles. Why? Because the miracles he did for Moses were the provisions that a mother makes for a child. God carried Israel. God cared for Israel. God comforted Israel. God fed Israel. That's what a mother does for a child. But God said, "Joshua, I'm going to be with you like I was with Moses. Not that I'm going to do for you what I did for Moses. Don't confuse my presence with my performance. If I'm not doing for you what you think I should do for you, it's because you can do it for yourself. But I am with you. I'm locked in with you. I'm watching over you. I'm empowering you. I'm leading you. I'm steering you. I'm guiding you." Key lesson: don't confuse God's presence with God's performance. Growth happens when support decreases and faith increases. True inheritance comes from faith-driven action, not nostalgia for past miracles. The absence of miracles is not the absence of God. It's the advancement of maturity. So, in summary, only be thou strong and very courageous, that thou mayest observe to do according to all the law. Joshua's era symbolizes maturity in motion, from promise to possession. God remains with his leaders even when methods shift. Withdrawing familiar provisions is an intentional act of growth, not neglect. Sons fight, build, and govern. They don't wait for manna. Wow and wow. So look, that was a nugget. I want you to think about it. I want you to perhaps replay this, meditate on it, because it may explain where you are and why the Joshua generation is very different to the Moses generation. So in the next session, I'm going to take the Joshua generation to another level, help you to understand what's happening, why there is a distinction emerging between those with the Moses mindset and those with the Joshua agenda. I think it's you, particularly if you tuned into this channel. Now look, there are some opportunities that I'm going to make available to you right now through these ads. I want you to not leave till you've watched the ads and take advantage of the opportunities. In the description beneath this video, there is a link. It's to my link tree, and all of the opportunities that we make available to kingdom citizens, sons, sovereigns, and stewards are listed in that link tree. So whatever ad comes up, you will find a direct link to it in my link tree. All right. Until the next Kingdom Conversation, this is Bishop Wayne Malcolm, the Business Bishop, bidding you Godspeed and Shalom.
Hey there, entrepreneurs. If you enjoy the teachings of Bishop Wayne Malcolm, I've got something amazing for you. Introducing the New Breed Community, an exclusive online platform for kingdom-conscious entrepreneurs, professionals, investors, and creators. This isn't just a community, it's a movement where we discuss and explore kingdom concepts. Here, kingdom-minded people connect, share, learn, and grow together. Inside, you'll find exclusive content from Bishop Wayne Malcolm, including special sessions just for members. And the best part? It's free to join. The New Breed Community sits on the Heartbeat platform, where Bishop Wayne Malcolm is excited to meet you online. Join us for weekly Q&A sessions with Bishop Wayne, and get exclusive insights that can transform your life. Love to read? Join our book club to feed your mind and spirit. Got a prayer request? Post it and let's lift each other up. Have a testimony? Share how God's goodness is shining in your life. We're more than just a community, we're a movement. Discover the powerful relationship between your profession and your purpose. Join us now on the Heartbeat platform. Connect with us and let's grow together. Bishop Wayne Malcolm and the New Breed Community are waiting for you. So what are you waiting for? Hit that join button and step into a world of connection and growth. A warm welcome awaits you. See you on the inside.
Hey, I'm Bishop Wayne Malcolm, author, coach, and founder of the Epic Kingdom Network. If you've ever felt like something's missing in what you've been taught about Christianity, you're not wrong. Most of us were taught that heaven and the hereafter are the goal, prize, and sole objective of the faith. But the original message of Christ taught us to engage, to influence, and to transform the world. Believe it or not, Jesus didn't die to get us into heaven. He died to get heaven into us, and then through us into the earth. What if I told you that Christianity was never meant to be a religion, but rather a relationship and a global revolution, a divine intervention, not a man-made institution? The original message and mission of Christ was hijacked, diluted, distorted, and replaced with a religion. My new ebook, Kingdom Theology for Kingdom Citizens, is not just another devotional, it's a call to action. A bold reintroduction to the original message of Christ, a message of dominion, not escapism, of transformation, not tradition. You'll learn what it means to rule and reign with Christ, to steward wealth with purpose, to influence government, education, culture, and business as an ambassador of heaven. This book will shift your lens, stir your spirit, and set you on course with divine clarity. And right now, for a limited time, I'm giving you free access to the digital and audiobook versions. No cost, no catch. Just click the link in the description, grab your copy, and step into clarity. I've got an exciting announcement for every kingdom-conscious entrepreneur, visionary, and builder who knows that their business is more than a hustle. It's a calling. The Spirit-Led Business Challenge is now available on demand. If you've ever felt that your ideas are divine, but your results don't yet reflect heaven's design, this is for you. This program was created for believers in the marketplace who want to merge spirituality with strategy, revelation with results, and faith with financial fruitfulness. This is by far the most advanced and insightful training ever produced for marketplace believers. Over 4 transformational sessions, I walk you step by step through the keys that unlock supernatural success. You'll get access to the full program, every training, every slide, and 4 dynamic workbooks designed to help you exhale your understanding and put revelation into action. It's all waiting for you right now on demand. Click the link, start your journey, and let heaven's strategy guide your success. Because this could be the difference between your field of favor and a life of labor.